Conor McGregor, master marketer, master entertainer. And he doesn't miss very often. One thing that is of utmost importance is that you have your thumb on the pulse. It is of the utmost importance, and it changes very quick. That's why you can't have a vibe for hey, I check in once a week. Doesn't work like that over here. The landscape changes instantly. And you don't have to be an extreme. You don't have to be Corey Sandhagen, where you have no idea what's going on in your own division. But boy, you gotta know who to call out and when to call them. And if I do watch Conor, I'm watching the great. Now, a few years from now, that torch might get passed because Sean O'Malley's coming for it right now. Sean O'Malley does not go to sleep at night without thinking about what did Conor do today and did I do more. The guys that compete for top spot don't just end up there. First off, they know that it's happening and they know it's a spot that has to be fought for. I only share that with you because there's 763 guys under contract. 758 of them don't know that you got to fight and plan if you want to be the top star. They're all out trying to perfect a jab and a cross. They think outcome matters. They don't understand their biggest star, Conor McGregor's lost his last 5 fights. Right? It's one of these things, and you'll never get through to him. But I don't see McGregor miss very often. And Conor's now come out and he's hinted. This was yesterday. The Super Bowl's going on. Do I owe you guys an apology, by the way? So I did not know. Okay, back up. I made a piece and I told you guys that the UFC 300 main event, that there was a consideration that was going to be revealed in a form of a commercial during the Super Bowl. Now, guys, you would have taken that out of context. I never promised that, and I never even predicted that. I was sharing for you. Hey, wouldn't this be interesting? And I went from there, and then I laid my story out. I completely presented that as a hypothetical. When that got broken down, that went through social media, and the kids do the memes, and they spread this around. It was a commitment that you guys then believed, so there was a big disappointment. There's a lot of you that thought that the UFC would pay the highest price of a commercial of the year that can possibly be paid to reach less people than Dana could do for free on Instagram. I don't know how you would think that I was serious on that, but a lot of you did. And I do apologize. If I had to put you through the torture of having to watch the Super Bowl, and you did that because of me, I sincerely do apologize. But Conor got in on that. Prior to the Super Bowl, he got in on that. Hey, watch the commercials could become a big announcement. He got in on the spoof that I put out. And it's okay. It's just when you do a troll job that lasts that long, it becomes a problem. It becomes a really big problem. When something isn't true, a great worker will never have something that's not true and put himself on a time frame. Right? It's like the red flag to every Ponzi scheme that's out there. I got the greatest thing. It's going to pay 200%. I've got to have a check tonight. It's one of those things. So when Conor inserted himself into the Super Bowl, when he inserted himself into the dialogue of a potential for 300, that's where he showed he's not paying attention. There is a massive underbelly that believes that McGregor is the answer to 300. But they also already have their facts. They have the way Dana responded at a press conference. They have Dana going on and saying McGregor and Chandler's not going to be till the end of the year. But that doesn't disqualify from McGregor being right now. They already had the evidence. And they already believed it. And all those conversations were already percolating. Now, the one thing that we do know for any backdoor plan that's going on about 300 is it's going to be a special reveal, which just means it's kept secret. So therefore, if McGregor were in fact the answer, McGregor would not be the one out letting you know that he might, in fact, be the answer. That's where the miss comes. I've been on board for it. Look, Red Panda Night's real. I heard what he said to McAfee. I saw the look on his face when he said McGregor wasn't fighting in June. I saw all of those things. I get if you want to be a conspiracist. I get where we're going. We got Daniel Cormier backing up 165 pounds. Like, we got all these interesting things. But if McGregor himself acts as though he might be it, one thing that we know about it, meaning the secret main event, is that it's a secret. So if McGregor were to be the one hinting that it could come, whether it's the Super Bowl or not, we now know that he can't be the one that it's going to be about. And that is where the miss came. And there seems to be a promise after promise by McGregor. Now, McGregor, every now and then you got to test where you're at. It's very important you do that. Like this cold hard reality is happening to The Rock right now. And I know how The Rock is pretending for you guys. I wish he wouldn't. I wish he would straight shoot, man. This is not what I thought I was going to get. I've never had this audience hate me. I got a lot of bad press lately. Maybe it's Cody's good. Maybe it's I'm not lying. But man, this caught me off guard. Instead, he's trying to outwork it. He's trying to out-hustle, outmaneuver you guys, which all it's doing is upsetting you guys, right? I mean, it's one of these things where it's a miss. It's a big mistake. But I share it with you because you got to do these tests every now and then. And The Rock was right to do the test. He was right to show up in Vegas, take the mic, and ask the crowd straight up, am I the one that you want to see? Now, he got an answer that he didn't know he was going to get, but it's important that he know. Well, McGregor just did the test. The test was the troll that he was going to put out an announcement about his own fight on New Year's. So 2 days in advance, he had to build. Now, that could have gone nowhere. That could have been a tweet that we never taught. It never goes anywhere, but it worked. And we waited. And the moment that hit, we broke in to digital at ESPN and we started reacting to the news. So McGregor had us. We believed it were true. Michael Chandler backed everything was going along swimmingly. But that was the test. So now McGregor knows I still got him. They still trust me. So once you got him and you know that they trust you, there's a way that you have to behave. And instead, he's 3 times since then he's trolled us. He said he's fighting Manny. He got Manny to say he's fighting Manny. Anybody else to say he's fighting Michael? He got Michael to say that he's fighting. We can't get His Highness to say he's going to do the Manny fight. And we damn sure can't get Dana to say he's going to do the Chandler fight. Like, it's one of these things where if you're going to get rebuked, the one thing that McGregor sold, when I use the term sold, the one thing that he convinced you he had that he never had, and he got people in our industry, smart people, to believe it. It's the only thing that he ever made up. It's the only thing that he lied. It's the only thing that he worked. I don't like the word lie. This is an entertainer. He came out and he entertained. But the only thing that McGregor ever sold was power. He convinced you he had power. He did not. He didn't have power then. He doesn't have power now. He's not on the board. He's not a shareholder. He had an opportunity to buy in, by the way. He could have been an owner, but he didn't want to write the check. He thought it should have been given to him. That's different history. I'm not here to give Conor a hard time. I'm letting you know the only thing that he ever sold, and it worked. One thing that he knew was an important ingredient to being the sport's biggest star. He knew he had to have the perception of power, and he also knew that he had none. But it worked. He put a plan together, and he convinced you all that he did. It was great. But the way that he did that, I don't think he stood back and studied. I feel as though perhaps it was unintentional. Because the things that he's doing now is he's demonstrating a relinquishment of the power. Old Conor McGregor would have said, they begged me for UFC 300. I told them no. Why would you possibly tell them no? Because I asked them for something a month ago and they told me no. Whatever it was, but this is how old McGregor would have handled it. I told them no. Why? Because I already told me fans I'm fighting International Fight Weekend, and that's the one I'm going to fight. Well, Dana says you're not. Well, I am. That's how old McGregor would have done it. We're going to move him till the fall. The hell you are, old McGregor would have said. June 29th, get your tickets, me and Chandler. He would have fought him. He would have taken him on. One of them would have blinked. That's old McGregor. That's how he would have done that. And now boot in the ass, and he's on his way. I gotta tell you, I miss old Conor.